We'll begin Aggie baseball. This has been a very roller coaster, emotionally rough regional so far. As we know, the Aggies tonight face, elimination, advancement. I would almost say, depending on your point of view, but they will play USC, 8 o'clock first pitch. Winner goes to play North Carolina. Loser, seasonal end. How many people even remember the Lamar game? A&M, for half of that game, they were down 5-0 to Lamar, like mid-5. Halfway through the game, they're down 5-0 to Lamar. And then the offense came alive and they win 7-5. This game was tied at 5. And again, my memory might escape me here. Yeah, end of 7, they were tied at 5. To Lamar. I would argue that 2 out of the 3 games, this A&M team has not necessarily looked like a world beater. 2 out of the 3 games so far, A&M has not looked like a host seed. But they beat Lamar. That's all that matters, right? Gavin Lyons was the story of that game. His relief appearance, 4-1, was phenomenal. And Gavin Lyons has had many great, some shaky. Shane Sadeo got the start. It didn't work out. Freshcorn was brilliant in the save. But the Aggies weren't very good for a good stretch against Lamar. The offense woke up late. Saturday was the Texas State game, and that was batting practice. 17-2. Grahovic went yard. Dewar went yard. 17 runs on 20 hits. Weston Moss was magnificent. 7 1/3, 10 strikeouts. And being pitching challenged, he was exactly, what the doctor ordered. He was exactly what you needed. He was phenomenal. Nothing short then. Aggies get the dub, advance to the regionals. Those 10 strikeouts by Weston Moss were, and I want to say, obviously a career high. Most in a regional game since 2016. Those 20 hits, the Aggies have knocked 20 hits in a regional game, 4th time all time. 17 runs, 20 hits, most in a regional game since 2016 for A&M. And then you get to last night's game. And losing is one thing. I will argue the nature of that loss net last night. Ethan Darden gets the start, didn't get out of the first. You give up 4. And the crowd was taken out of the game. The offense started pressing because it looked like everybody was trying to hit a home run. The problem with that is you're trying to chase how many hits do you need if you're going to hit all these solo shots? Because no one looked like they were trying to get on base. As opposed to taking the easy hits, everybody was trying to hit a grand slam with every swing. Now, Gavin Grahovic had this kind of dream weekend. He went yard against Lamar. He went yard against Texas State. He went yard against USC. He's going for regional MVP even if they lose. He's going for player of the weekend. He's unconscious. But Hakopian's hit 2 bombs. The thing that baffled me last night, USC threw a relief pitcher, Andrew Johnson. He looked eminently hittable. I would argue that his number one strength is he threw strikes, which if you're A&M's offense, okay. He's eminently hittable, right? A pitcher that just throws strikes. And he didn't have extra movement. His fastball was not nasty. I don't understand the issues they had with him. This guy did not overpower you. He didn't throw it past your bat, under your bat. I'm not even going to complain about the A&M pitching. I could. And the giving up 14 runs, remember something. Once it was obvious that this game was probably out of reach, you use a different part of your bullpen. It's not like Clayton Freshcorn gave up 4 runs. So the score escalated a bit. He threw Juan Vargas. So the score escalated. Fine. I get what happened here. After Darden, and it's 4 runs early. And with A&M's offense, 4 runs early actually should mean nothing. He brought back out Gavin Lyons, and Lyons didn't have it. But the offense, how does the offense score 3 runs against a relief pitcher that they threw out there because they had to start someone? So I asked that honestly. And then they brought in the other guy who was just there for total mop-up. Was this his 7th inning of the year? And you can't even get like token runs, like mop-up runs, garbage time runs off him. Last night's game was frustrating because your pitching was especially bad. Your offense inexplicably got shut down. You saw so much better every weekend in SEC, and you're putting up 10 spots on Sundays. This was a Game 3 Sunday game. You knew you were going to have to outscore USC yesterday. So, again, A&M gave up 14. I'm really not blinking or flinching. I expected runs to be scored. And the defense, there's one error officially on the scoreboard for the game. But how many plays, if you don't want to call it an error, were not made? And you just helped USC's momentum with a lack or poor below average defense. So the problem I have is last night, they failed at all 3 phases of the game. The offense failed, the pitching failed, and the defense failed. It wasn't the effort I was expecting at all. Does that mean they're going to lose tonight? No. The number one X factor trait of this team is their bounce back resiliency. They've bounced back all year. They bounced back when it made no sense. They bounced back when it's looked this bad or looked way worse. I'm not mean this bad. They went 2-1 over the weekend. They've looked a lot worse and bounced back. They have some trait that they respond to these challenges, and they have all year. Now, they've never had to use their 4th pitcher on the weekend when they started with 0 because I'm sure you've heard the news, Aiden Sims out for the year. Coach Early revealed that after the Texas State game Saturday. He wasn't originally shut down for the year, but during the course of him working his way back, it became obvious, and I don't want to, we're going to listen to him. You'll hear his words, but during the course of him working his way back, I guess it became apparent that the best decision was for him to shut it down for the year. So they did. And I want you to think about this. Say it out loud so the reality of it hits you. Aggie baseball has exactly 0 starting pitchers. They are a host seed, 12, trying to go to a super, and they have 0 starting pitchers. Now, Weston Moss has started, so if I need to be exactly fair, and why would I not? I guess Weston Moss is 1. Even though he's been inconsistent, he was pulled out of the starting rotation for a stretch of time, and he hasn't been listed. When you get the little, if you've ever looked at him, they always put those, it's not TBD. And for the postseason, they don't really have a rotation, but they do the press releases that give you the game notes. He hasn't been listed on the weekends for a month and change because they do TBD for everyone but Aiden Sims, right? But he's been a weekend starter. So if I want to just reality is Moss has been a weekend. He wasn't, and then even though he wasn't listed, he did. So that 1. Came up huge this weekend. Huge. Did Weston Moss. And that's just the reality of the situation. So again, I'm not going to get caught the pitching for giving up bombs to Lamar and even getting shelled by USC because they are who they are. But the offense, spending half of the Lamar game asleep and never got going last night, that's a cause for concern. And them pressing last night, A, do you agree? Is that what you saw? Because it felt like they were all just trying to hit a 4-run home run. That's called a grand slam. But why would they? Even with USC scoring, that's been the case all year. They know they've been in a race to 10 all year. That's nothing unusual. There'd be no reason for them to press because that's business as usual for Aggie baseball. So why would they press last night when it's the same thing they're used to? Or they didn't press. I just don't understand how that pitcher got into their head. Because they should have hit him. That's kind of my opening thoughts. It was a very confusing and frustrating weekend. That's kind of how I felt about it all. Even the Lamar game they won. I spent the first half going, what's going on? Then the offense shows up. Texas State was BP. And last night was just watching them fail all three phases of the game. So tonight, 7:45 pregame, 8 o'clock first pitch. And you can hear that game right here on the Zone, 11:50 a.m. and 93.7 FM. Or the Zone app. Or at radioaguilan.com. Or you can tell Alexa play Zone 1150. A&M USC. Winner plays North Carolina. You can listen right here on the Zone. I'll be back. There's so much more to discuss. Now, if you want to add into the conversation and what's on your Aggie baseball mind, text 979-693-1150. I'll see what you have to say inside the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, Monday on the Zone.
Can't reach your radio? Listen to Aggie Baseball online at radioaguilan.com.
A&M Baseball, again, very confused. Like, let me ask you something very simple. How would you grade their performance this weekend? How would you consider their performance this weekend? Because they went 2-1, which in postseason play shouldn't be considered too bad. But half of the Lamar game, they're down 5-0. It's 5-5, end of 7. Texas State was batting practice. But last night, they failed on all three phases of the game. Just lifeless. It's been a struggle. Again, if they win tonight, nothing matters. You advance, nothing matters. It never matters how you advance. If you win and advance, you go. And for me, I'm trying to do a perspective thing. I'm going to be very honest with you. If you take a look at how insane the action was this weekend, survive and advance. How many different leagues, pro, college, coaches, survive and advance? In college baseball regionals this weekend, that saying has never been truer. Survive and advance. So I'm asking, how would you grade how they played this weekend? I almost want to slap myself for that question. Because if you survive and advance, I don't know if anything else matters. The number one, UCLA did not make the regional final. Cal Poly came out of the LA regional. Little Rock made their first ever super regional out of the Hattiesburg regional, right? And it goes on and on. Like, you had some of the teams that advanced as your national seats. They had to come out of the losers bracket. So survive and advance, and it does not matter, oh, you spent half a game cold. Your defense was bad this game. Has anyone looked at the scores? I wonder if I printed out. No, I didn't. Nobody has pitching. Even teams, Auburn, pitching forward, right? They're winning games 15-10. So many of these regionals, because if you're watching them, they got the little box in your upper right-hand corner, right? Troy beat Florida 16-12, I think it was, to force the what-if game, the game 2. Survive and move on. Sure, we live it, eat it, sleep it, breathe it. We talk about it daily, so we get micro all the time, and that's our job as fans, and fan is short for fanatic, but survive and move on. Did anyone think that this was a College World Series team? I think I said this before the season started. I said it before SEC started. And if I didn't, there'll be at least 20 people that will text and go, Lou, you're full of bleep. But I said, hey, they look like a team that'll host a regional and can mash and bash their way to a super. Then you just take your chances. I'm pretty sure that was it. And nothing had changed. That's where they are. And nothing has changed this weekend. I think it's still pretty much the storyline. Some text messages. Peruna in College Station. Sigh. At least football's not too far away. Tonight's game is not done. Last night's game was just a fail on all 3 phases. It's going to be USC's 5th game. This whole storyline is nothing more. What is A&M's offense going to do? They could put up a 20 spot. A&M as a team has responded all year long throughout SEC play. All year long, okay? I got a statistical for you. 12 SEC teams made the postseason. 11 of them made their regional final. Now, how many made the super? There's still 6 playing today, 6 games. We don't have the final tally. We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow during the week, okay? But 11 of 12 made the regional final. That is the elite baseball league, premier baseball league, don't care. And A&M always responded. Even if it was don't get that sweep or after a Friday night, 17-2 and just the weirdness. They went 3-7 in game 1s. So, again, this is the ultimate respond. You just came up 100% no-showed kind of flat. And it didn't make sense. I'm going to stick with that. Johnson for USC, he threw strikes, which, heck, we saw some pitchers that couldn't throw a strike to save your life. But that guy should not have shut you down. Next up, it says, hey, Louie, it's Jack listening from College Station on the Zone app. I wanted to ask you, is this baseball season still considered a fail if we don't win the game tonight? I feel that with the terrible luck this team has had with injuries, especially with Aiden Sims, it is impressive that we have made it as far as we have. Beat the hell out of USC. Yes. You need to advance out of your own regional. I will argue, especially once you go 2-0, especially once your 2 seed loses their first game and ends up having to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Everything broke your way. Now, A&M has had to deal with injuries. Correct. Take a look at how this has played out, and the answer is it is a fail. Yes. 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 Now, they don't have to do any more than that. To say that they had to make Omaha, no. To say that they had to host a super even, no. This is Aggie baseball, and hosting a super should be like breathing. And advancing, you got a Big Ten 4th place team who lost their first game and has to play 5. You won your first 2. You didn't even have to play the 4th, but okay, you do. Yes, it would be a fail with all the parameters that were set up if you don't advance. Yeah, so Jack, you asked for my opinion. Yes, it would be a fail. Chad made me laugh. He said, Lou, playing some Depeche Mode. Awesome. I have diverse musical tastes. Joey in College Station. All season, the pessimist in me has been saying, if they make Omaha, they won't be able to compete because the pitching isn't good enough, and they will run into good pitching in Omaha. Just had a feeling they weren't a championship team this year. I mean, yeah. 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 There was a 10-day stretch where the word Omaha popped into my head. I mean, I'll be honest with you. 10-day stretch where the word Omaha popped into my head. But they never had the pitching. I mean, we could say that. I'm using hindsight. We all know this now. We have the data. I mean, it's obvious. They never had the pitching. Nothing in the bullpen developed. The weekend pitchers didn't develop other than Aiden Sims. They never had the pitching for Omaha. Finally, one more text message. Oh, this is kind of cool. Ray in South Texas said, Louie, that's me, thanks for the Zone app. Was on the Frio River all weekend and listened to Aggie Baseball via your app. Gig 'em tonight. Dude, thank you for that kind of update. No one ever tells you the cool stuff like that. I love hearing those stories. Thank you, man. He's out on the Frio River, has the Zone app, which, by the way, Apple Store, Google Play, anywhere in the universe you get your apps, the Zone app is there. And Ray made the point I always try and make. You can listen to Aggie Baseball, but Aggie Football, Aggie Basketball, Louie Bellina Show, TexAgs Live, Chip Howard Sports Talk. You can listen to the Zone wherever you go with the Zone app. And for Ray this weekend, it was the Frio River with Aggie Baseball. We got to debate who starts tonight, what's the best plan. We have tons of time. Trust me on that. I think it's an easy answer, and I think it's Clayton Freshcorn. And I'll give you two very basic whys. One, saving your best pitcher for a situation that might never happen, and that's a save or a one-run game, strikes me as insane. It's like having Aiden Sims as your Game 3 pitcher when you might lose the first two of a series and be eliminated. It's why Texas keeping Volantis in Game 3 so that you might not get swept as opposed to taking a series lead. They eventually moved him to their Game 1 starter. So saving your closer when there might not be anything to close with the season on the line doesn't work for me. We saw Freshcorn throw 5. But here's the other thing. A&M has to stop USC's momentum. Their bats are insane right now. They've scored 19, 14, and 15 in their last 3 games. And they're not an offensive juggernaut. That's not who they are. So I need a pitcher not just to survive. Is there any other pitcher that you would trust that can actually shut them down, frustrate them, stop their momentum? Because I don't know of another A&M pitcher right now that would have it with the way the confidence they have. I want Clayton Freshcorn so that your offense could put up 5 in the first 3 innings and they put up a 0 and you just flip this entire matchup. That's why I want Clayton Freshcorn. And then, but what if we have a 1-run lead in the 9th? What do we do? Man, it's their 5th game. It's your 4th game. Nobody has anything left. There's a lot of what are you going to do's. That's the reality of these games. Have you ever watched postseason baseball when you've had to play these games before? Nothing fits the norm. There is no playbook. But I want to stop USC's bats. They're just in such a good place with confidence. I put Freshcorn out there and pray and give me another 5 like he did in SEC play. 5-1, even 5-2. And then from there, we all just pray. I'll be right back. It's the Louie Bellina Show. It is the Louie Bellina Show Monday, presented by CC Electric on the Zone.
Sign up for the Zone newsletter and always be in the know about that day's guest lineup, where and when your favorite team plays, and more. Sign up at zone1150.com.
Time listening. We're going to listen into the journey. And this listening going to happen throughout our time between now and 2 o'clock. But game 1, A&M Lamar, Friday. And again, not the most dominant, but man, survive and move on. That has been the gospel of the entire postseason regional weekend, if you've looked out across the country, because ask the number 1 overall UCLA, and we have Little Rock, Cal Poly are in the Supers this year. Here's Coach Early. Oh, and I always say select players. It was Coach Early, Weston Moss, and Jake Dewar after the win over Lamar.
Mike, I think that's the largest comeback you guys have had this season. Just you've talked about how this team has been resilient throughout the year. Just what did you see from them today? And at any point did y'all huddle up in the dugout at all, or anything of that nature?
No, that's just not what we do. We don't want to ever be reactionary, and that would be reactionary. We just continue to play. I mean, their starter did a hell of a job, man. That guy pitched his tail off. They got some runs early, but we kept playing, kept getting on base, moved the ball. Gavin did an awesome job keeping it right there. Allowed us to get the ball to Fresh. So, no, we just kept playing. I mean, obviously, you can say you start slow. When a guy pitches well like that and keeps you off balance, it looks like it's slow. We were as ready to play as we've been, every single game, but they just played really well, man. It's a really tough team.
Question for Chris. Just what was your kind of thinking going into the 5th inning down 5-0, and what did you see on that pitch with the 200-run homer?
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling that he was probably, coming with mostly off-speed stuff. So just see something up, really as simple as that. Mindset doesn't change based on the game. Same process.
Gavin, entering the ball game there in the 4th inning, what's the mindset like? And then also, what did you think of pitching in your first NCAA tournament game?
Yeah, for me, nothing changes. Doesn't matter the score, who we're playing, what inning it is. So I just went out there with that mindset. And then it was cool pitching my first ever playoff game.
Coach, obviously, we saw Gavin come out of the game there, do the defensive switch. Can you just give us an update on what he's going through?
He's just cramping, so he's getting an IV. With the longer wait time, playing at night tomorrow, he'll be fine. He got to the point where he couldn't move, right, and I don't even know if he'd be able to run to cover first base. So he's fine. He's not injured. He's just had some complete body cramps.
This is for Chris or even Mike, but what was Olivier doing against you guys that kind of kept you off balance? It seemed like the slider to right-handed hitters was really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think on a guy like that who is probably mostly heavy off speed, I think our game plan just needs to be more, seeing stuff up. And I think we just got away from that, and that was the game plan, but we just got away from that. But, I mean, yeah, he did a good job, and he executed.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, when you look at a guy's usage, and this happens to us by times, just because we do have a strong offense, and sometimes guys change and do stuff a little bit differently than they had. Now, he is heavy slider, but he mixed in, more curveballs, more changeups, snuck the fastball in enough, and it just, it's hard, man. I mean, that guy, he was good tonight. Credit to him. I mean, he really grinded, he battled. That's why he's had a really good season. So, yeah, we just got to sometimes, like Chris said, yeah, you're looking for balls up. When you start getting balls down, balls up, they just did a really good job. I don't know if they threw 2 fastballs in a row. I'm not sure how many times they threw the same pitch twice in a row, or when they flipped the batter, when you saw the guy the second time. So just great job. Jace Hutchins is a hell of a pitching coach, and he's done a good job with that guy.
For Mike, can you just share what you told Chestnut when he came up to pinch hit on that sac bunt attempt, and just his ability to execute that in that moment?
Yeah, just, get it down. Just our lingo, going over stuff we do. Like when we bunt, we want to hit dirt first. You go into the left side. Make sure you get in the runner's lane in case there's a play at first where there would be, we don't want to be inside the runner's lane and then the guy doesn't advance, and just do your job, and he did.
Coach, what did you think of Shane's performance today? Why do you think he struggled against the Lamar bats?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He had no walks. They just hit balls. And when teams hit balls and you throw strikes, you just got to tip your cap. So other than that, he filled it up. They just got the barrel to the ball a little more than I think we'd like. But, we put him in there because we didn't want him to walk anyone, right? And we thought he'd get him. He just, he didn't have a good day today as far as barrel to ball, but he got us through 3, and then we were able to get the ball to Gavin.
Coach, I know you said earlier in the week you're going to take it day by day, but have you made a starting pitching decision for tomorrow's game yet?
We have not, no.
What will go into that decision?
Just looking at the teams, which we've obviously looked at them at a high level, but just kind of seeing how this game shakes out with us having the later game. We'll have a few guys ready to go.
For Gavin,
You've come in a lot of tough situations with runners on. Does it take a different mentality to play in that version of the game versus maybe starting the game out?
No, I don't think so. I think every batter is the same no matter what situation you're in. You're just trying to win, right? So you just take one pitch at a time. It doesn't matter when you're coming in the game. You just have to do what you're expected.
Mike, I was just curious. I don't think we asked you the other day. Will Aiden be on any kind of pitch limit if he pitches this weekend?
If Aiden were on a pitch limit, the last thing I would say to opposing coaches could hear it is that he's on a pitch limit. No, good question. But no, I expect him to be able to go 150.
Anything else?
Yeah, I love it.
A question for Chris. In the seventh inning, a little bit of a sticky situation with that shallow hit. How did it feel being able to leg it out and getting kind of a round of applause from the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, kind of with the type of injury I have, I got a few sprints in my bag every game, and that was definitely the time to use it. And in the sac fly, yeah, just I mean, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win baseball games. I really don't care how my body feels in the moment. I have a job to do, and I'm in the lineup, so I'm playing hard.
I'm not sure he's any slower. He's just limping a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
Coach, obviously we know these games, they all mean a lot, obviously, but just from a coach's standpoint and a strategic standpoint, how important is it just, to get that first win out of the way in the first game and just how you kind of move forward with that?
I mean, obviously in a tournament-style setting like this, double elimination, like you want to get ahead, you want to get out there, you want to put yourself in a loser's bracket. So I'm just really proud of just how we attacked it. I mean, it was complete like this the entire game. And, we've been down, and you said it might have been the largest whatever. We've been down all year. We were down at Ole Miss, down 5, came back, just ended up not winning the game. But, yeah, super important. You always want to win. We won the game. We feel great about it. These games are tough, man. These games are tough. That's a tough squad, and we found a way to do it, and that's what matters the most. We have some things we got to clean up, of course, and we will, but we won the game, and I'm super proud of our guys for their effort through, all 9 innings.
That was Coach Early, and also select players after the win over Lamar, which did you really – I was not expecting great comeback, and the will to overcome to be the storyline after Lamar. Here's one more for now. Listen in, and it was after the win over Texas State. Batting practice time Saturday.
Weston, what worked for you today? How'd it feel out there? And then also taking through that third inning and that moment striking out the side and what that did for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, I felt great. It was fun, cool environment. Felt good outside. Little humid a little bit, but yeah, that third inning was pretty huge. I feel like that was the turning point, to be honest. But that inning I just felt dialed in, so I knew I was going to carry it the rest of the game. I knew they tagged me a little bit the first 2 innings, but solo home runs don't kill you, so yeah.
Yeah, Weston, what was the thoughts, emotions going when you got the standing ovation, the curtain call there at the end?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool. Remind me of Auburn, but yeah, I mean, that could have been my last game there, so it was a very special moment.
And they were saying that kind of the difference between you at the beginning and the end was maybe finding a little better spots with the slider and the cutter. Do you feel like that was maybe the difference between the beginning and the end of the game?
Yeah, because I think Texas State went out there looking for a changeup, so we just decided not to throw changeup. So their approach was all over the place, and it was easy, I guess.
For Coach, just what does it do for you guys to have a start like that from Weston, setting you guys up for tomorrow, where you guys didn't really have to use any other key pitchers and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, he did his job. He did his job, and he was phenomenal. Incredible performance, exactly what we needed. Also good too, because we plan on playing for a while, so good for him to go off something like that, because he is going to throw again this season. So just really good job by him. I know we got a lot of runs, but I mean, he held him down and gave us a chance, man.
For Jake, just what'd you see from that 5-run six you guys had, and just maybe the way y'all are able to open up the floodgates there?
Yeah, I feel like that's our offense. We've been looking for that, and to finally get that back, it shows we're ready to go, and that's kind of what our mindset has been, is just pass the baton, and I feel like we passed it tonight.
Back to Weston, striking out Jagway Stewart there to end the 6th. The emotion coming off the mound, where did that come from, and how would you describe that moment?
I mean, just another at bat. I think it felt good. I think I got 3-2. I think he missed a call there too, so I was a little fired up. But yeah, what strikeout was that? Was that 10? Something like it. But it was, I've only struck out 8 total, so it was pretty fun to go out there.
Yeah, Mike, I think with that double, Kane Sorrell is the first 20 home run, 20 double guy since Dalen Holt in 99, who has his name all the record books. Yeah. What does that
good company
kind of accomplishment mean, and what mean to the program?
Yeah, I think it just shows the kind of player he is. Obviously, Dalen was an unbelievable player. I didn't get to see him play, but from what I was told, and his name's all over the record book. So Caden's, he's special, man. He's special, and it's good to see him in a full season. We missed him last year, and then as a freshman, obviously he played a lot, but not a full season. So he's incredible, extremely talented, and when a guy like that plays that length of time, the numbers are going to show up. So good for him. That's cool.
Right.
For Mike, just wanted to ask about the decision to start TK tonight. What went into that, and just what you saw from him at the plate particularly?
Yeah, I just thought we'd give it a change. They were starting a lefty, so just put him in there. Jorian's been scuffling just a little bit, and so TK brings an element, and he's been working super hard. He had great live at-bats on Tuesday and Wednesday. So, yeah, he was ready to go. And what was the second part of it? I'm sorry. I'm exhausted, by the way.
Just what you thought he did at the plate.
Yeah, he did well. He had some bad. The good was good, right? He's got to get better at he chased some pitches, but part of that he hasn't been in there. But he moved the ball when needed to move the ball. He did a good job of setting the table that one inning. And yeah, man, TK's a really good player, and he's continued to work and stay ready to go, and that's why he's able to perform tonight.
Alex, you'll wrap this up.
2 quick ones. One, just did you feel like it was pressure was mounting before y'all had the 5-run 6, and did you kind of see that coming, that kind of offensive outburst there?
Pressure on us or them?
Mounting pressure on them. But from
yeah,
your
I mean,
offense.
I thought with what Weston was doing, like even with the 2 home runs, he just looked like he was in complete control. And so I knew we were going to have time to score. And our guys they've been hitting the ball hard, and it was going to break through at some point. So they just did a good job of, like Jake said, passing it to the next guy. And when you got Weston out there and just a comfort level we had in him at that point, just gives you some comfort on offense.
And do you have any idea who you're going to start tomorrow on the mound?
I don't.
All right. Well, Richard, you'll wrap us up.
Coach, sorry, on starting pitching, what went into not starting Aiden Sims today? Excuse me.
Yeah, so Aiden will be out for the rest of the year. He was going good. He was good Thursday. He was fine on Friday. It's just not there. And for the best interest of the kid, he's not going to pitch. So, and that was not the case early on. Like he was thrown. I mean, these guys will tell you, he's thrown off the mound. It just got to that point where not right to throw him out there. He was a warrior this season. He's a huge part of why we're in this position. He did his job, and it's just not the right thing for him to go out there and throw.
Right there, right at the end. Last question. Yeah, Aiden Sims is out for the year. We got one more listen-in, but it'll be like 12:35, and that'll be the listen-in post last night USC. You could hear the journey through Coach Early and the players' words after each and every game. When we return, we got to wrap up our first hour together. This is the Louie Bellina Show Monday, presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. That's CC Electric.
Bryan College Station's home for champions with March Madness, the Super Bowl, and the College World Series. The Zone. 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
I have a couple of text messages. One I can't read because it's way too long. It's like 2 paragraphs. But I need to correct something. They have a favorable side of the bracket with upsets and a real opportunity to make a run this year. A&M does not have a favorable side of the bracket. North Carolina is the new betting favorite to win the College World Series. Saw updated odds this morning. North Carolina is the new updated favorite to win it all.
You can hear the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays 2 to 4 here on The Zone. Presented by Polaris Fun Center. Paul Feinbaum is SEC Country. And Aggieland is SEC Country too. Join Paul weekdays 2 to 4 here on The Zone. Polaris Fun Center, where you can get a $500 rebate on any 450 or 570 Model A TV. Or $2,000 cash back on a Polaris XP 1000. Polaris Fun Center, where they sell and service fun, not tractors. The voice of the SEC. And you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays from 2 to 4 on The Zone.